Black Crystal. Dear friends and viewers, what did successful people who rose from the bottom do right? Was it just luck? Perhaps this video won't help you turn the tide and become a strong person in a month. But it might help you surpass 98% of your peers in the next 2 to 3 years. Today, we will explore 8 breakthrough mindsets. These will help you turn the situation around and escape the vicious cycle of poverty. 1. Redefining the problem mindset. A multinational cosmetics company in Japan launched a soap production line. However, they soon received complaints from customers that some soap boxes were empty. To solve this, the company spent tens of millions of yen to import new equipment to ensure every box contained soap. Meanwhile, a small business in China faced a similar issue. But the owner solved it with just a few dozen yuan. Do you know how? He simply placed an electric fan at the end of the production line. When the fan blew, the empty boxes were blown away, leaving only the boxes with soap. In the example above, the Japanese CEO fell into a conventional thinking trap. He thought about how to ensure every box contained soap. Continuing down that path, he could only choose to upgrade the equipment. But the Chinese small business owner broke this mindset and redefined the problem. How to remove empty boxes from the production line. With this approach, the solution became simple. Use a fan to blow them away. Many problems seem hard to solve not because they are inherently difficult, but because we are stuck in conventional thinking. In such cases, try stepping back and redefining the problem. Ask yourself, what is the real problem? Are there other solutions? Einstein was a master at breaking conventional thinking. He once said, "If I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about solutions." This shows Einstein's skill in thinking and defining problems. Only by understanding the essence of the problem did he start seeking solutions. For example, a restaurant owner faced the issue of overcrowding, often running out of seats. Many customers left because they didn't want to wait. Normally, one would hire more chefs to speed up food preparation, but this would increase labor costs, potentially leading to losses. However, this owner changed his approach. How to make customers willing to wait longer. He added some small chairs, prepared snacks, and bought an old TV to play interesting shows. As a result, customers waited more patiently, and the restaurant's revenue increased significantly. With low costs, conventional thinking is something everyone encounters. When you hit a dead end, try elevating your thinking and redefining the problem. This might open a new door for you. Often, asking the right question is more important than solving the problem. 2. The essence of problem-solving mindset. At Toyota, an employee noticed a drop of oil on the floor. Most people's first reaction would be to wipe it clean, but this employee didn't. He wondered why there was oil there. Looking up, he saw oil leaking from a screw. Most people would tighten the screw, but he didn't. He continued to think. Why is only this screw leaking oil, while others aren't? Upon inspection, he found the rubber washer had aged. If the washer was damaged, the next step would be to replace it. But he didn't stop there. He asked, why did only this washer age when all were installed simultaneously? He removed nearby screws and inspected them. It turned out, the washer on the leaking screw was from a different supplier. He reported this to the purchasing department, helping them improve supplier quality checks. When you don't understand the essence of a problem, all efforts only address the surface. This is the most basic level of problem solving. To go deeper, ask why at least 5 times to find the root cause and solve it thoroughly. This is the famous 5 whys analysis method. Another example. At a museum, the walls were severely damaged. To find the root cause, they consulted McKinsey. The questions began. Why are the walls heavily damaged? Because they are frequently cleaned with harsh detergents. Why are they frequently cleaned? Because there is too much bird droppings. Why are there so many bird droppings? Because there are many spiders, which birds love to eat. Why are there so many spiders? Because there are many insects on the walls that spiders eat. Why are there so many insects? Because the sunlight through the windows attracts them. The final solution was to close the curtains. This is how McKinsey, one of the world's top consulting firms, solved the problem. In the movie The Truman Show, there's a line I love. Some people can see the essence of a problem in half a second, while others never understand it in a lifetime. Their fates will surely differ. What sets us apart from those who quickly see the essence? It's the ability to think deeply. Most people lack this skill. They often rely on instinctive reactions based on experience, limiting their thinking to surface-level solutions. The 5 Whys or Elon Musk's first principles thinking help you find the root cause and understand the essence. 3. Breaking prejudices mindset. There's a story about a non-swimmer who fell into the sea. Struggling, he saw a boat coming to rescue him but refused, saying, "No, I'll wait for God to save me." Later, another boat came, and he still refused, continuing to struggle. Finally, he drowned. His soul went to heaven and blamed God. "Why didn't you save me?" God replied, "I sent 2 boats, but you refused to board them." This is like when opportunities come to us, but we miss them. Then, we blame fate. So, learn to let go of prejudices and seize opportunities timely. In a TV drama, the female lead, Jang Nansun, wanted to work for a rival company owned by her friend Daisy. Instead of stopping her, Daisy encouraged her. Jang Nansun was puzzled, but Daisy replied, "He's truly outstanding, I admire him. You're young, so work with talented people to learn their methods and manners. This is more valuable than any salary." But Jang Nansun replied, "I want to be the first Jang Nansun, not the second Daisy." This is like many of us when we first enter the workforce. Full of passion, we vow to stay true to ourselves and achieve success our way. We often resist others' ideas, fearing that accepting them would make us copies of them and lose ourselves. But Daisy offered a different perspective. All learning starts like looking in a mirror. You learned from one teacher, then move to another, like changing mirrors, until one day, you realize the image in the mirror is yourself. Then, you develop your own methods and become a mirror for others. Sam Walton, Walmart's founder, once said, "Most of what I do is modeled after others." Of course, he didn't mean copying exactly, but dissecting and analyzing competitors' success formulas, then learning from their accumulated experiences. In this process, you discover what truly excites you, define your goals, and adjust based on your unique traits to make it your own. Humanity cannot see what it has never known before. This is terrifying. You can only grow when you realize what you haven't seen before. But if you don't see them, you'll never progress. So, the only way is to learn from others. If you don't want to break your own limits, you'll remain an old version of yourself. Benjamin Franklin once said, "Many people die at 25 but aren't buried until 75. After 30, stopping growth is common. Life becomes no different from the previous year, just time wasted." Once, a banker's son curiously asked his father how he made so much money. The father paused, told the boy to get a piece of pork from the fridge. The boy did. Then, he told him to put it back. The boy did, standing there confused. The father smiled, "The pork was in the fridge, now it's still there. But your hand has some fat, right?" That's how the rich make money, but few realize it. Banks don't actually own their cash. They only have the right to use it, while ownership belongs to depositors. The mindset of cash flow is about the right to use, while the poor focus on ownership. The rich, conversely, practice the right to use, creating the wealth gap. Legally mastering the game to some extent means accumulating assets through asset transfer, not creating assets. In recent years, you'll notice anything can become a tool to join the game. For example, in shopping mall business, big stores like McDonald's and Starbucks are invited by malls with free rent or renovation support. These brands attract crowds, prompting smaller businesses to join at higher rents. If you want to open a dumpling shop, instead of just selling dumplings, Ask if making money from selling dumplings or from selling the dumpling shop business model is more effective. If you standardize everything, from recipes to operations, then hold seminars to franchise, you can earn big from franchise fees, training, supplying ingredients, and supporting store decoration. In short, these are just examples, hoping you can apply them to your field. 5. Trial and error mindset. Tool mindset. Logical mindset. In an interview, candidates were asked to find a needle in a football field. Finding a needle in such a vast field is like finding a needle in a haystack. If you were the interviewee, how would you find the needle? The first participant, Nam, immediately ran to the field, crouching to search step by step. If not found, he continued, searching inch by inch. Finally, his footprints covered the field. This approach is called trial and error. Edison used this method when inventing the light bulb. To find a suitable filament material, he experimented with gold, silver, copper, and iron, but all failed due to low melting points, breaking when electrified. After over 1,000 trials, Edison found tungsten and invented the light bulb. Trial and error is easy but costly. The second participant, Min, asked, "Can I use tools to find the needle?" The interviewer agreed. He borrowed a magnet and started searching the field with it. His path was similar to Nam's. This is the tool mindset. Humans are weak, can't fly, dive deep, or even run as fast as other animals. But we have one advantage: tool use. The tool mindset is when facing a problem you can't solve, ask, "What tools can I use to handle this?" Min combined trial and error with the tool mindset. The third participant, Trung, asked for more information. The interviewer agreed. Trung asked, "Where did the person who threw the needle stand, and in which direction?" The interviewer replied, "He stood at the field's center, throwing north." Trung continued, "How tall was he?" The answer was 1.8 meters. Based on this, he used logical thinking to determine where the needle might land. He borrowed a tape measure and 4 small flags to mark the area. Finally, he borrowed a magnet and quickly found the needle. Trung combined logical thinking, tools, and trial and error. Trial and error is the most basic method. You hardly need to think, just start doing. But this makes action costs high. Meanwhile, tool and logical thinking are advanced methods. Before acting, gather information, assess conditions, and choose suitable tools. This increases thinking costs but significantly reduces action costs. These 3 mindsets should be flexibly combined for maximum efficiency. 6. Breaking mental limits mindset. The classic American movie The Truman Show tells of Truman, who from childhood lived in a town called Sea Haven. In reality, it was a set controlled by a director. Everything in the town, from parents, wife to colleagues, were actors. Only Truman didn't know his life was broadcast nationwide. Later, Truman started noticing oddities. After many hardships, he broke free from the simulated world controlled by the director and escaped Sea Haven. Sea Haven was the trap set for Truman. But in our lives, are we both the director and Truman? A friend shared that his father often abused the family. Since childhood, he advised his mother to divorce, but she, fearing ridicule, chose to endure silently. Now, at 60, she still lives in abuse after decades. Hearing this, I was shocked. Why didn't she resist? What made her endure so long? I realized a big secret behind it. Inertia is a powerful force. It keeps things in their initial state and resists change. Humans are the same. Understanding this helps explain why children resist kindergarten or why many abused women refuse to change or resist. To some extent, the abusive father is the main culprit, but inertia is the accomplice. Who rules the world? The answer is inertia. Who changes the world? Those who resist inertia. There are 2 types of people. The first is controlled by inertia, refusing change. They live routine lives, going to work, coming home, with no progress. When unemployed, they collapse, having no other survival skills. Their lives from youth to old age show no growth, only aging, as they are imprisoned by inertia. The second type breaks inertia, accepts change, steps out of comfort zones, enters unfamiliar territories, and continuously learns and grows. Ultimately, they achieve cognitive upgrades. Essentially, growth is a battle against inertia. Every start is hard, as beginning something means facing not only the fear of the unknown but also your own inertia, like being attacked from both sides. But all fears and worries are prisons we built ourselves, imprisoning us. 7. Structured thinking mindset. Let's do a test. You have 5 seconds to memorize 20 random numbers. Did you remember? Next is another set. Again, 5 seconds to memorize. Did you remember? Actually, both sets are the same, just arranged differently. Why was the second set easier to remember? This is a higher level thinking mode than logical thinking, called structured thinking. The second set was easier because it aligns with our brain's information processing habits. First, too much information is hard to absorb. Second, we prioritize clearly patterned information. The second set was arranged with clear patterns, making it easier to remember. Can we use this brain trait to enhance thinking? Of course. Structured thinking is organizing ideas and information in your mind, like the second number set, following certain patterns and orders. This makes ideas clearer, easier to understand, thus better supporting problem solving. When you can't clearly express a problem, or forget a book right after reading, it seems like poor expression or learning skills, but it's actually due to a lack of structured thinking. Like when a car breaks down, you don't know how to fix it because, to you, it's thousands of scattered parts. But to a mechanic, the car isn't thousands of parts but 5 main systems. With structure, they can quickly identify which system has issues, then find specific faults within, saving time and increasing efficiency. Structured thinking is about structure. If you can find the structure behind a complex problem, you won't need to overthink every detail. Instead, like the mechanic, break the big, complex problem into smaller, simpler ones and solve them step by step. This significantly speeds up and enhances problem-solving efficiency. 4 fastest ways to make money mindset. Inamori Kazuo once said, "The 4 fastest ways to get rich have never changed." First, information asymmetry. What you don't know, but I know. In the past, information was held by a few. Those who had it became rich. Today, the issue isn't lack of information, but how to find it quickly, effectively, and accurately. If you can find the information you need faster than others, you'll succeed. Second, cognitive asymmetry. What you don't understand, but I do. Information is just the starting point. The biggest difference between people lies in their ability to process and understand information after receiving it. How to turn the information you receive into your own cognition and assets. This is the key to breaking through. Third, action asymmetry. You and I both understand, but you don't act while I do. If you don't act, it means you haven't started and won't have any further opportunities. All the information, cognition, and resources a person possesses can only be demonstrated through action. A person lacking action ability will let opportunities slip by unnoticed, because while you hesitate, others have moved forward. Fourth, competitive asymmetry. You and I both act, but I do better than you. You can act, but to win in a fiercely competitive market, you need to continuously improve yourself, maintain sharpness, curiosity, and competitive ability. Remember these breakthrough mindsets. Only when you become strong will the world truly respond to you fairly and deservedly.